Have you ever felt that quiet exhaustion?
Mm.
The one that sort of creeps in when you're scrolling through social media, seeing everyone, boasting about their latest ventures, their hot trends.
Yeah, I know that
And
feeling.
you're just sitting there kind of wondering where your path is, feeling like everything's already been done, already hyped up.
It feels like you're being left behind.
Exactly.
Got
Left
it.
behind.
Mhm.
Well, what if I told you that feeling might actually mean you're in the right place, but maybe just facing the wrong direction?
Interesting way to put it.
Today, we're starting a deep dive into a concept that could really shift your perspective. Anonymous professions.
Okay.
These aren't the jobs splashed across headlines, not the ones filling up your social feeds, not on TV, not in those, super expensive online courses.
Right, not the glamorous ones.
No. Instead, they're the quiet giants. Roles that consistently attract clients, offer stable income, and, honestly, often provide a far more peaceful, fulfilling life than many of those highly visible careers.
And our mission here in this deep dive is really to pull back the curtain on how these, well, overlooked opportunities actually exist,
Hmm.
why they're so incredibly valuable, and this is the important part, how you can maybe identify and cultivate them
Right, to get control.
to get true control over your time, your finances, your whole life direction, really. We're going to unpack some specific examples, concrete strategies that are working for real people, like right now.
Showing a path less traveled.
Exactly. But maybe, just maybe, more rewarding in the end.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. What exactly is an anonymous profession?
Good question.
Our source describes them perfectly, I think. These are real jobs, genuine, consistent demand, but they just aren't famous.
Right. Under the radar.
Totally. They're not boasted about online. You won't see tons of reviews, yet they're sustaining countless people, families, every single day.
And often they're the tasks everyone needs done.
Yeah,
Right?
but nobody really wants to do them themselves.
Okay.
And that right there, that's where the unique opportunity clicks in.
Makes sense. But if they're so in demand, why do they stay, anonymous? Why aren't they hot?
That's the core question, isn't it?
It seems to be. A key insight here, I think, is how it connects directly to what our source calls virtual glamour.
Virtual glamour, okay.
Yeah. In today's world, there's this powerful pull to showcase success, right? Not the painstaking journey to actually get
It's
there.
just the shiny endpoint.
Exactly. People tend to gravitate towards easily named, sort of glamorous-sounding jobs. They overlook professions that might need deep practical understanding or patience, or maybe even a bit of, well, grittiness.
Right. Not always Instagrammable work.
Precisely. The societal bias, this preference for the shiny over the essential, it just means that hundreds of perfectly viable, highly valuable professions get missed.
So they thrive in the quiet corners.
They do. Because honestly, no one's really looking for them there.
So how does this actually translate into a real-world advantage for you, the listener?
Well, these jobs, they come with some pretty incredible characteristics. Things that directly counter the pressures you find in those hot markets.
Okay, like what?
For one, they tend to have stable demand, but with very few people actually knowing about them or doing them well.
Less competition.
Way less competition, which means you don't need expensive advertising. Clients often come because of trust, word of mouth.
Not flashy marketing campaigns.
Exactly. Think about it. You get to sidestep all that relentless pressure, chasing trends, daily updates, constantly feeling like you need to prove yourself on some public stage.
Yeah, that sounds freeing.
It is. You just
Yeah.
get to be authentic, serve a client group you actually choose, and importantly, earn money based on true, tangible value you provide, not some superficial image. It really shifts your focus.
It changes the game.
Completely. And if we connect this back to the fundamental principle of business, like our source highlights,
Which is?
the essence isn't about doing something trendy or hot. It's about solving a real problem, a problem that customers are genuinely willing to pay to fix.
Okay, give me an example.
Okay, take the example of someone specializing in cleaning washing machines at home.
Washing machine cleaning. Okay, seems small.
You might think that's a small niche job, right? But think about it. Hundreds of households in every neighborhood, each with a machine they use daily.
True.
How many people actually know how to clean the internal workings properly? Like, really clean them?
Probably very few. I know I don't.
Exactly. Very few. And here's the kicker. They are absolutely willing to pay someone to come do that. It saves them time, effort, prevents costly repairs down the line.
So the value is clear to them.
Absolutely. You don't need massive advertising, just satisfy a few clients well, and they'll tell their friends, their neighbors.
And that circle just grows.
It just keeps expanding organically without needing a huge online following or constant self-promotion. Just good, reliable work solving a real, often overlooked problem.
That's a perfect illustration, actually.
Mm.
And it leads us right into these, well, often unexpected benefits of operating in these anonymous spaces.
Right.
Start with a big one. Low competitive costs.
Yes. Huge.
Because you're not fighting in this crowded market.
Yeah.
You don't need to pour money into aggressive ads or pay those huge platform commissions or get into constant price wars.
You're not racing to the bottom.
No. It fundamentally shifts your business model. You move from constantly chasing new customers to focusing on deep client retention. That's a luxury most hot businesses caught in that advertising arms race can only dream of.
And you can price differently too, right?
Exactly. You can price your services based on the genuine value you provide, not just on being the cheapest option out there.
Which is really interesting because it leads to significant niche market control.
How so?
Well, when you're in a field with just a few practitioners, you naturally become the sole option, or at least the highly preferred option for client.
You're the go-to person.
Precisely. And that control then allows you to potentially increase your income without being constantly dependent on, external factors or the whims of some volatile market. It brings immense stability.
And what about the lifestyle aspect? The freedom and control these professions offer.
That's another major draw for many people.
You aren't necessarily bound by fixed office hours or even a specific geographical location for many of these, right?
Absolutely. A lot of these jobs can be done from home or with incredibly flexible schedules.
So you gain proactive control over your time, your income.
Your whole life direction, really. You're not just reacting to the market's demands, you're genuinely playing on your own terms.
And that stability must build trust, too.
It does. That leads to another crucial aspect: customer loyalty.
Okay.
Because clients often find it genuinely difficult to find alternatives for your specialized service.
Like there are dozens of options.
Once they trust you, they are incredibly likely to return and to recommend you. They won't be comparing you constantly. They'll just remember you because you solved their problem effectively and maybe even kindly.
That personal connection matters.
It builds genuinely lasting relationships, which is gold in business.
So, considering all these hidden advantages, a natural question pops up. Can these quiet ventures actually grow? I mean, what's the potential for scalability here?
That's a fair question. Our source is quite clear on this. While they often start small, maybe just one person,
Okay.
they can absolutely grow into significant businesses. Once you're stable, you can start building systems.
Documenting things.
Exactly. Documenting processes, then you can hire, you can train others, expand your services.
Like that locksmith story we heard about.
Precisely. The locksmith who became the indispensable person for locks in his entire neighborhood, it proves you don't need millions of people to know you.
Just the right group who needs you.
Just the right group who needs you to find you, that's enough.
And that leads to another point, something really relevant today. Long-term resilience.
Against technological displacement, yes.
Many jobs today face threats from AI, from automation.
It's a real concern for a lot of industries.
But these kinds of professions, the ones requiring personalization, meticulousness, nuanced human understanding,
They seem far less vulnerable. While others might be worrying about losing their jobs to machines, you could be working securely in a field few others even pay attention to.
that offers remarkable stability, future-proofing your career almost.
It really can.
Okay, theory is great, but let's make this really tangible. Let's look at some surprising real-world examples from our source.
Good idea.
None of these are viral or, TikTok hot, but they show exactly how people are building excellent incomes and stable lives this way. Let's start with The Fixer.
The fixer. Okay. This is someone who specializes in handling urgent, often quite messy problems for businesses.
Like what kind of problems?
Think, lost orders, potential lawsuits bubbling up, critical operational glitches that stop everything, real crises.
Stuff that needs sorting now.
Exactly. They don't typically advertise. They get found through referrals because when you need a fixer, you need someone utterly reliable, fast.
And how do they charge?
They usually charge per problem solved, not per hour. And a single well-executed solution can bring in hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars worth of value to that business.
Because they're saving the company from a disaster.
Precisely. They get paid accordingly. It's about solving a crisis that a company is desperate to resolve.
Wow. mean, who hasn't been in that moment wishing they had a fixer on speed dial?
Right. It speaks to that primal need for quick, competent help when things go really wrong.
Okay, another fascinating example. The liquidation service.
Yeah, this one's interesting. It involves buying used goods, often entire inventories, from businesses that are closing down.
So like furniture, equipment.
Like be anything. Furniture, equipment, stock. It's often a low-cost entry point, low competition. Sometimes involves physical work, sure.
But the potential.
One individual in the source material shared earning the equivalent of a very comfortable 5-figure monthly income just handling old items from a few closing companies.
Wow. From stuff others might see as junk.
Exactly. It proves that what others see as waste, you can potentially transform into significant profit. It's about seeing value what others don't.
That's a really unique angle. Okay, what about something using more analytical skills, like manual market research for small shops?
Right. So many small online businesses, even local stores, they don't have the budget for big research firms,
Right
right?
away.
But they still need to know things. Where do their products sell best? What are current prices? Who are their direct competitors? What are customers really saying online?
Crucial info.
Absolutely. And you can do this with just a phone, maybe a laptop, and some focus time. Compile a simple report, maybe takes 1-2 days.
And charge.
$100 per report easily. A dedicated person could potentially serve 10, maybe 20 shops a month like that. Build a steady income stream.
You're providing actionable intelligence they desperately need.
Exactly. Stuff they can't easily get through automated means.
Okay, and for those with a knack for words, the document writing service, what's that involve?
This is all about crafting professional documents that really stand out. Things like resumes,
Okay.
compelling capability statements for businesses trying to look sharp, or those really intricate bid proposals to win contracts.
I say so.
Definitely. It's ideal for skilled writers who also have strong logical thinking. Someone good at this, really good, can potentially earn thousands of dollars monthly, just with a laptop.
And the demand is constant.
Seems to be. From individuals trying to land that dream job to small businesses needing to win that big contract, it requires precision, clarity, articulating value.
Makes sense. And finally, a role that's sort of quietly propping up the digital economy. The YouTube podcast channel operator.
Ah, yes. This is a big one now. Many experts, doctors, coaches, small business owners, they want to have their own channels. Share their knowledge.
Build their brand.
Right. But they simply lack the time or maybe the expertise for all the back-end stuff. Video editing, scripting, SEO optimization, consistent posting.
That's a lot of work.
It is. So you could run these channels for them, handle all that back-end work.
And the income potential.
You could generate, say, hundreds of dollars up to maybe over $1,000 per channel per month. Now imagine managing 5 or 10 channels like that.
That adds up. Quietly.
It's a silent, steady accumulation of significant income. You become this invisible but indispensable partner to a lot of professionals.
So when we look across all these examples, the fixer, the liquidator, the researcher, the writer, the channel operator, what's the common thread? What really ties them together?
Well, they all demand sharp problem-solving skills, definitely. And practical, hands-on thinking, not necessarily advanced academic degrees or needing huge public visibility.
It's about the skill, not the fame.
Exactly. Success in these anonymous professions seems to come from being exceptionally good in a small, often overlooked corner of the market.
You don't need to be number one everywhere.
No. You just need to be the best, the go-to person in your specific small niche, and you'll often find you have very little real competition there. It's about being invaluable to a select group.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for someone listening thinking, maybe this is for me, how do you actually discover your own anonymous niche? Where do you start?
It often starts with something simple but really powerful. Self-observation.
Just paying attention to yourself.
Yeah, ask yourself, what do people, friends, family, even acquaintances often ask you for help with?
Like specifically.
Is it fixing presentations, sorting out computer issues, finding reliable suppliers, writing compelling emails or content, maybe decluttering spaces or planning events?
Things you might just do naturally.
Exactly. These seemingly small requests are often signals. They're unnamed values you already possess, and others recognize them even if you don't see them as marketable skills yet.
Interesting. So look inwards first.
Yeah.
What else?
This leads naturally to considering tasks that others explicitly dismiss or actively avoid.
The stuff nobody wants to do.
Right. Those often have the least competition because, well, most people just don't want to touch them. Also, a fantastic way to find opportunities now is monitoring online community groups.
Like on Facebook.
Facebook, TikTok comments, YouTube comment sections, forums. Look for unmet needs. Look for unanswered requests for help.
Where people are literally asking for something.
Yes. These often reveal untapped opportunities where people are actively seeking solutions that maybe no one is professionally providing yet. It's direct, raw market research just sitting there.
And you can actually back that up with data, right? Using tools.
Absolutely. Use concrete tools like Google Trends.
Okay.
Try searching for terms related to things you're thinking about. Printer repair at home, Japanese document translation, maybe content writing for hire, or used goods collection.
And see what comes up.
You might be genuinely surprised. You could find thousands of monthly searches for these specific services, yet when you look, there are very few professional providers actually listed or easy to find.
It's like finding a hidden map to direct demand.
Exactly. Demand just waiting to be served.
Okay, so you have an idea. What's the absolute crucial next step?
You have to test it out. This is key. Encourage yourself to take on a few small jobs first. Maybe even free or very low cost initially.
Why free or low cost?
The goal here isn't immediate profit. It's about learning. You need to truly understand what clients need, how you can refine your service, and honestly figure out if the work is enjoyable for you.
And if it's viable.
Right. Is it profitable? Is it repeatable? Is it scalable down the line? Many of these anonymous professions can be started with basically zero upfront capital.
Really, just effort.
Just effort, your existing skills, and the right attitude. It's all about iterating, testing, and adapting as you go.
Okay, so you've identified a potential niche, you've tested the waters, maybe done a few small jobs.
Yeah.
How do you then cultivate this thing for long-term success? Make it sustainable.
It really starts with smart pricing. This is critical.
Okay? Not just picking a low number.
Definitely not. Don't just price based on what maybe others are charging, if there's even a market rate to compare to. Instead, price based on the value you deliver to the client.
How do you quantify that?
Well, if you save them 3 hours of their valuable time, that's worth significantly more than just a simple hourly rate, right?
Sure.
If you help them avoid a major financial loss or secure a new opportunity, that has immense value. Good clients, the ones you want, they seek value in solutions, not just the cheapest option.
They understand quality pays off.
Exactly. They
Right.
get that quality saves money and headaches in the long run.
Okay, pricing is sorted. What's next for building sustainability?
Once you're familiar with the work, maybe have a few clients, the next step is optimization and automation. But simple automation.
Like documenting your process.
Yes. Document your processes thoroughly. Create checklists for common tasks. Use templates for standard communication or reports.
You don't need fancy software for that.
Not necessarily. Simple digital tools can make a huge difference. A shared Google Drive for templates, maybe a Kanban board like Trello to track job progress.
The goal being efficiency.
Exactly. This allows you to increase your income per hour without necessarily increasing your total work hours. It's about working smarter, not just harder, making your service consistent and professional.
Okay, makes sense. Then there's branding, but you said these are anonymous. So how does branding work?
Right. It's more like secret branding, perhaps. You don't need to go viral. You don't need aggressive ads.
So what do you do?
You focus relentlessly on doing excellent work.
Yeah.
So excellent that clients naturally refer others and remember you as the absolute best in your specific field.
Word of mouth becomes your marketing.
Precisely. And maintaining a simple client list, maybe even a small private online presence like a simple website or LinkedIn profile just to stay in touch with past clients. That's crucial for repeat business and long-term stability.
Your reputation is your brand.
It's your most powerful, quiet advertisement.
Got it. Now, this path isn't foolproof. What are some common mistakes people should avoid when trying this?
Oh, definitely pitfalls to watch out for. First, no market research. Big mistake. Don't confuse an abandoned job, one with no actual demand, with a true niche job, which has low competition but real, consistent demand.
You have to validate the need.
Always. Second, underpricing. Don't trap yourself in low income just because you're scared you won't get customers. You undervalue yourself and the unique solution you provide. And it's really hard to raise prices significantly later.
You set the right precedent.
Exactly. Third, no clear process. Inconsistent work wastes your time, frustrates clients, and absolutely prevents scaling. Professionalism requires a system no matter how simple it seems.
Okay, what else?
Fourth, stopping learning. Even in quiet niches, the world changes. Tools change. Client needs evolve. Continuous learning is essential to stay relevant and competitive.
Complacency is dangerous.
Very. And finally, a big one, maybe more psychological. Shame or reluctance to show your work.
Shame about doing an ordinary job.
Yeah, feeling like it's not glamorous enough. But earning good money, honestly, from a job that solves a real problem for people, that is absolutely something to be proud of. Overcoming that feeling allows for true freedom from societal expectations about what a successful career should look like.
That point about shame is really powerful, and it links to the idea you mentioned earlier, the potential to scale a niche into a main business.
It does.
It's not just about earning a living quietly, it's about potentially building something substantial, right?
Absolutely. Our source talks about how you can systemize those processes we discussed, then train others, maybe even hire a team.
Expand beyond yourself.
Right. You could even develop related products like mini courses based on your expertise or ebooks. You establish yourself as a true expert in your niche.
So you're not just a service provider anymore.
Exactly. You're building an actual business, maybe even an empire from the ground up. Quietly, steadily, but with immense control.
That's quite a vision.
Let me share some really compelling stories from our source. They show how ordinary people found pretty extraordinary success doing exactly this.
Okay, let's hear them.
Consider the IT student. Graduated, couldn't find a typical job. He started just by fixing website errors for friends.
Small beginnings.
Very, but he got good at it. Eventually, he became the go-to person for small businesses, online sellers in his area, fixing their website glitches.
The problems they couldn't solve.
Exactly. He ended up earning the equivalent of a substantial six-figure annual income purely through referrals. No big marketing budget. He just became indispensable in his specific tech niche.
Wow. Okay, who else?
Then there's the story of the retired security guard. He decided to learn locksmithing.
A practical skill.
Very practical. With just a few dollars for basic tools, he started offering his services locally. He became the most trusted locksmith in his entire neighborhood.
Building local trust.
Totally. He charged a modest amount per job, but the calls were consistent. He ended up earning a very comfortable monthly income just from loyal clients in his community who always called him first for that critical, immediate need.
He didn't need global fame.
Didn't need it at all, just needed to be known and trusted right there.
Amazing.
And one more.
Yes, the education student. She was really good at presentations, slide design.
A skill many people lack or dislike doing.
Exactly. She helped her teacher first, then started designing professional slides for other lecturers, then coaches, even startups needing pitch decks.
So the demand grew.
It grew quickly. She was soon making a full schedule, earning hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per slide set, all from her laptop. She didn't need traditional part-time jobs. Her skill built a thriving, quiet business.
So looking at these three, the IT fixer, the locksmith, the slide designer, what's the big takeaway? The common lesson?
It seems really clear, doesn't it? They didn't aim for stardom. They weren't chasing viral fame.
No, they just focused on being useful. Useful and reliable within their chosen sphere. Solving real problems for real people. It proves that just a handful of loyal clients, when your service is genuinely indispensable to them, can generate a truly stable income.
And investing in the skill pays off.
Investing in skill, in dedication, in reliability, it yields far greater and certainly more consistent returns than chasing those fleeting, attention-grabbing trends.
That really brings it home.
Ultimately, the core message here, I think, is that true freedom isn't necessarily about doing something grand or flashy.
It's about the execution.
It's about doing something ordinary, maybe, but with exceptional skill, real care, and unwavering dedication. You don't always need to invent something entirely new.
Just do it better.
Just do what others might do superficially, but do it with genuine heart, with meticulousness, with a real commitment to excellence for your client.
So this really raises an important question for you, listening right now. Do you truly feel at home chasing those hot trends, constantly updating your profile, feeling that pressure to be visible all the time?
Or are you tired of that treadmill, tired of feeling like you're constantly on display?
If you feel like maybe you don't quite fit that mold, that's perfectly okay.
In fact, maybe it's more than okay. Maybe it's your superpower, a quiet signal to look for a different path altogether.
Yeah, a path that fits you.
So here's maybe a provocative thought, something to consider long after this deep dive is over.
Okay.
You don't need to wait to be chosen. You can choose yourself.
Take control.
And don't wait until you feel ready. Readiness often comes after you take action. The path, it often only reveals itself as you take that next step, however small.
So the advice is to just start observing.
Yes. Take a moment today, tomorrow. Observe the small, overlooked things around you, the unmet needs, the quiet frustrations people have.
Because
Because very often, right there, in that smallness, there is a door. A door leading to a completely new life, just waiting for you to notice it and maybe, just maybe, walk through it.